Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my corner of the internet. Once again, my name is Jason, and today we're back with some more Distant Worlds universe. Alright, so last time we basically got things started, I went over and I looked at a lot of, we'll say, the basics of the game, and we kind of got our, we got our empire started on, on, we'll say, doing things. Let's see, that's Space Log. Okay, well, I'll let them deal with that. And so this time here, I've got a few things I need to tackle. One, I need to fix my cash flow because I am just hemorrhaging money. I need to do something about that. And then on top of that, of course, we want to go ahead and expand. So rather than pausing things, because I don't like to always pause things. I did a lot in the last video just to sort of show things off, but at the very least, I like to just slow down time so that way things are at least happening while I'm thinking. It kind of puts a little bit more pressure for me to think a little bit quicker. It adds a little bit more, we'll say, of an RTS element to the overall game. So, cash flow. Let's actually go ahead and take a look at what is killing our cash. We know it's the pirates, but I want to see if there's anywhere we can actually cut back. So, ship and base maintenance is at 8K, and let's go ahead and take a look at our ships here. How much are our ships costing us? Here's the total breakdown here. So, exploration ships, 2 of them is only costing us, we'll say, 1K in maintenance. We can actually see this if we go under the ships and bases screen. Let me take a look at exploration ships. Maintenance is actually only 289. So that's not a whole lot per month that it's costing us for the maintenance of these 2 ships. But what I might do is after I'm done, after my exploration ships have gone ahead and they've finished exploring the system, they've gone ahead and they've explored everything in here, I might go ahead and decommission them. We'll have them deconstructed, we'll take the resources back off them, so that, we'll be able to keep all the steel and everything that was on them, but it will also reduce our maintenance costs because they're no longer going to be fielded. Speaking of exploration ships, where are you guys? Let me see here. Actually, where are you? Let's center in on you. Okay, you're there. We have 1 exploration ship there, and we have 1 exploration ship there. You're exploring an asteroid, and what are you exploring? You're moving to some random point, because evidently I accidentally told you to do so. Alright, well, yeah, you can stop moving to that random point now. Just move there, and then do your thing. Because, let's take a look at what has been explored. Because they've gone around to the different moons and stuff, so we should be able to actually take a look at... Oh no, he's actually moving somewhere. Oh, I wonder if it's the ship, one of the abandoned ships we saw last time. So anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at, because they've gone by some of these, let's say, these moons and stuff, so we should be able to see what kind of resources are on them. So this moon here is a source of iridium and lead. This little asteroid is a resource, actually it's nothing, it's just basically a rock floating around in space. Is that more iridium? Alright, so we got lots of iridium. This is a nice gas giant. Now, I like these percentages. Usually, from what I hear of actually, it's a very limited community from what I can tell. There's not a whole lot of people talking about this game, unfortunately. Like, there are, but I find it's not as big as it should be. I feel like this game is easily on par with, like games like Civilization and that. But basically, the consensus is if the totals of all the percentages for a particular place are around, we'll say, 100 to 120%, it's absolutely worth it. That's, we'll say, prime mining territory. This one here we're actually looking at 200% worth. So this gas giant here is amazing. We definitely want to protect this one, and we definitely want to set up a mining base here. So actually, you know what? Let's see here. I'm going to queue a construction ship to set up a gas mining station here. So I could go ahead and just click on this right here. We click on the planet where I want the mining station, and I can click there to set one up. And as you can see here, construction ship is queued to build a gas mining station here. Another way of doing this is under my expansion planner. And if we go ahead and this actually shows us our different sources of different resources, the price that we're paying for it, because this game actually has a supply and demand system. So, if a resource is scarce in the galaxy, the price is going to go up. But anyways, back to what I was saying, I usually go to resource targets by galaxy priority, and it shows us all the possible places and all the resources that we can sort of queue up on. Wow, we have actually got some really good gas giants in here. Like, check this out here. We got, oh, it's not popping up for me. There we go. Argon, Caslon, helium, hydrogen. This is another awesome gas giant here. So let's go ahead and I'm going to queue up another construction ship to... Oh, wait, why am I queuing up construction ships? First of all, it's going to cost me money to build a base, so I can't do that. But even if I do, that's going to... Oh, no, that's right. Mining bases, the maintenance is actually handled by the private sector. So I don't have to take that into account with my cash flow. I just need to build the initial base, and the actual maintenance is taken care of by the private sector. This is actually really good. This planet right here, Ugloy, or this moon, sorry. Let's see, gold is 51, steel 48, iridium 69, and lead 83. That's a really good source of, like, multiple metals as well. So, you know, I definitely want to, we'll say, colonize, or not colonize, I want to set up mining. Actually, I shouldn't be queuing up, a ton of things, but I kind of want to set up mining stations on everything within my system, because, or at least these top ones. This one here is, that one's actually not bad either. This one here's not bad either. The other ones aren't we'll say, yes, you know, they're not as much of a absolute priority, although I've already gone ahead and queued up, or let me see, there's already one queued up to build a mining station on, this one, because it is, I think, our only source of silicone. Now, you can get into situations where you just don't have a resource that you might need in your system. And we're done with shields. Excellent. So what you actually can do, I think I might have touched on it last time. If you click on the planet, and let's say you want resources here, and I think I've shown you, yes, the mercenary smuggling mission. You click down here, and then you can choose which resource you want them to bring to you. And so that provides it's kind of a double-edged sword, because you're dealing with the pirates, they get money from it, but they're also helping you out too. So it makes the pirates more powerful, so it makes it a bit of a pain to deal with, we'll say, later on down the line. However, it's nice in that it gives you the resources you need to actually even be able to survive. So it's kind of like a necessary evil, if you will. So let's see, our engineers have completed research in storage systems. That's excellent. These are all great things I would love to add to my ship if I had the money. Unfortunately, I don't have the money. Alright, you know what I'm gonna have to do? I'm gonna have to break my rule here. I know I'd like our guys to... Actually, you know what? I don't really know. Because I'm thinking about this. I'm like, I want our colony to be able to grow, right? So I was like, well, maybe I'll just tax them up and get some more money, but technically I don't need shields or armor this early in the game just yet. Like, I've got the technologies, which is excellent. I definitely want those, but it's not until we actually get, we'll say, our hyperdrives, where I'm going to be saying, okay, now you guys need to be armed, because you're leaving our system, and, you know, there might be other pirate factions that we don't have deals with, we don't have arrangements with. Those guys there might actually, you know, try to kill you. But right now, I think we're good with, we'll say, our negative cash flow. Hopefully by the time, okay, that's a space slug. Hopefully by the time that we get our, warp field precursors, let me see here, that's at 6%. That's gonna take a little while. By the time we get our warp field precursors, we will have, we'll say, a positive cash flow. Our colony will have developed enough, because as the population goes up, right, there's more people, which means you're gonna be collecting more taxes on that, even if it's a lower tax percentage. So, you know, for the time being, I'm going to be in the red, but ultimately in the long run, it helps me get up to speed a little bit quicker, because my planet growth is that much greater earlier on in the game. Now, I do like to increase the tax, like I said, incrementally, just because I don't want to get too far in the red. Because, you know, you get too far and then you're kind of in a hole, and then once you do get, you know, bring up your tax rate, it's still going to take you a little while to get out of that hole, and then that can lead to you being kind of slowed down later on in the game. So, right now there's not a whole lot for us to, well, say, not a whole lot for us to do other than sort of wait, so we're going to do that. Oh no! Okay, our scientists have been pursuing the wrong path while researching enhanced missiles. And that set back our research. I'm not sure what it was at. I'm pretty sure it was actually pretty high, but we're back down to 23%, so our enhanced missiles are unfortunately going to take a little bit longer to get our hands on. Okay, now I just noticed something interesting. Our construction ship actually came over here and started building the mining base. Yet we didn't have the cash for it. So, this actually makes me question whether or not I was right about whether or not I was right about it costing us. Let's see, if I queue construction ship to build a mining station here, it's 2,609 credits. Okay, so I'll keep an eye on that. If it happens that our construction ship actually goes ahead and keeps building other bases, then maybe the private sector actually foots the entire bill. Maybe I was wrong about that. We'll keep an eye on that, and I'll keep you updated. I'm sorry, there's going to be a lot of, we'll say, cuts in the early part of the game when there's not a whole lot going, but once we become sort of a multi-system empire, there's going to be a lot more going on, and especially once we meet other empires, things are just going to be constant. But the start of the game does tend to be pretty slow. Great. So our scientists have been pursuing the wrong path while researching transport systems, so that set us back as well. So we got another setback. It's like our scientists, they just can't do anything right. Come on, guys, get your act together. Alright, so our scientists have completed research in enhanced missiles, so we currently don't have any other, we'll say, research queued up right now, so I figured we would come back on in here and see what we actually want to get. Now, I'm trying to think of my strategy. What do I want to, what kind of, we'll say empire do I want to be? Do I want to be really focus on, we'll say, ground assaults, transporting troops around and assaulting, planets or boarding ships and stuff like that? Or do I want to have, physically, we'll say, superior firepower in space? Do I want to be evil? There's, where are they? There's weapons here for planetary bombardment, right here, bombard weapons, so I can, like, nuke the surface of the planet and stuff like that. I can glass the planet, as it were. So that's a possibility too. Honestly, I think I'm going to probably just pick up some other basics, such as, we'll say, enhanced beam weapons, shipboarding, and starfighters. I think at least to get those basics in, even if you're going to specialize in one area, I think it's good to still sort of backfill other technologies. I think at the start, the most beneficial thing for us would be either enhanced beam weapons or starfighters, because we can put these fighters on our bases, which mean that, if the pirates or someone decides to attack us, our bases, not only in addition to their own firepower, they can launch fighters to go ahead and attack even further out. So they're good for intercepting things, especially if you get, like missile bombers and light torpedo bombers. Actually, which ones do more damage? Bombing damage is 14 for these guys, and these guys here, it's only 6, but they have a much better range, the missile bombers, so I don't know, we'll think about that. For now, though, actually, I think I'm going to go with the enhanced beam weapons. Let me see, it's only a 1 point extra of damage, but it gives us an extra 40 points of range, and actually uses less energy. Yeah, that's actually a definite, we'll say, an upgrade to the sort of beam weapons, the laser weapons we have now. So we'll grab that, and then we'll grab starfighters, and then shipboarding. And then after that, we will, actually, I'm gonna go with improved logistics. I like getting this because I find that troops can take up, they cost a lot. They will take up a lot of your maintenance costs. So, actually, I'm not sure if I should go ahead with lower troop maintenance just yet. I'll leave it like this for now, and I'll think about it. So basically, we've queued up enhanced beam weapons, starfighters, and shipboarding. Also, you will notice if you look up in the top right, my cash flow has gone positive, and I'm getting some money now. So I could probably start building defensive ships, but I'm not going to. First things first, I'm actually going to go ahead and retrofit my spaceport. I want it to be, it's going to cost me 10 grand to equip armors and shields. There we go. Armor and shields to my spaceport. So it's going to cost me a little bit, but I do definitely want to, I'm going to save up some money, and then I'm going to go ahead and, we'll say, retrofit my current ships with the new technology. So my construction ship, these research bases and all that, I'm going to make sure that they all get armor and shields. Armor does not need to be plural, Jason. Sorry for my horrible English. So that is basically what I'm going to do. I'm just going to basically wait and... Okay, so our leader, oh my goodness, I can't talk today. Our leader, Tico Bendu, located at Sol 1, has increased their population growth skill. So basically, if we go ahead and take a look at our leader again, population growth is a skill here that actually increases over time. Go down, please. So it's at plus 16%. So basically, on top of our we'll say our planet's growth, the leader can go ahead and affect. He actually affects your entire empire. So if he's got a high colony growth as a skill, it will also it'll increase, we'll say, your population growth across your empire. So basically, we'll say by practice, by being in office, or being the leader, actually the king, because we're a monarchy, are we not? I believe we're a monarchy. Yes, right there. Since we're a monarchy, he's the king, and as he gains experience, he will become better at his job. Actually, while we're on the screen, while we're talking about different types of government, let's go ahead and actually look at different types of government. Like I said, this game is deep. There's a lot of elements. There will be a lot of things like this. So basically, there are different types of governments that you can discover throughout the game. I'm pretty sure you have to find them, though. And there's also some types of government that are exclusive to different races. So we got despotism, and you can see right here what kind of effect that will have on your kingdom or your empire. So right now we have war weariness at minus 30. And minus 30%, which means that we're less likely to suffer from war weariness under monarchy. I like monarchy because it tends to be pretty balanced. There's no real big penalties. It's kind of normal, and then you have a couple bonuses. So it reduces war weariness, and it helps with troop recruitment. And as you can see here with despotism, war weariness would be even lower. Maintenance costs would actually be even lower, but our approval rating would go down. And our research speed would be much lower, and we want that technology. Troop recruitment wouldn't be too bad, but corruption would also be a big issue. And corruption, basically, as we'll say, different colonies or as corruption might, we'll say, spread within your empire, you start to get less on taxes because people are hiding money in tax havens and stuff. But basically, that's what it is, though. It's corruption. It's money's being siphoned off elsewhere and all that. So you can have a democracy, but then that gives you actually a major penalty to war weariness. If you go to war, they're going to get tired of it really quick, and it increases your maintenance costs. But approval rating goes up, as well as your growth rate and research speed. That's actually not too bad, but it's also harder to get troops, and your corruption is apparently lower. Okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense-ish. Anyways, then colony income actually also increases by 10%. So we could go ahead and switch to a different type of government. And why would you want to do that? Well, aside from these bonuses, when you meet other empires, what will actually happen is there's a couple different factors on how friendly they will be towards you. There's different race groups, so like there's the humanoids, and then there's like an insectoids type sort of classification. There's like lizard type races, and each one will be more friendly towards their groups. So there's different types of insect aliens, and they will tend to be friendly with each other. And there's different types of humanoid type races, and they'll be friendly with each other. But another factor is also type of government. So if you share a same type of government, they might approve of you more. They might be like, even if you're a different type of race, they might be like, well, we don't like you instinctively because you're very different from us. However, we like the way you rule. And so that also plays a role in, we'll say, diplomacy within the game, is how they view your government style versus theirs. And yeah, I think that's actually very cool as well. Alright, so we're basically just going to do some more waiting, and then I'm just going to go ahead and retrofit our ships in the method that I showed you earlier, and see about getting those up there. Yeah, not a whole lot's going to happen until we get those warp field precursors. Alright, so our scientists have just completed research in transport systems, which actually allows us to put a standard troop compartment on our ships. So that's kind of allows us to have passenger ships, if I recall correctly, and let's see, standard troop compartment, and allows us to carry troops around. So that'll unlock the ability for us to create troop transports. Since nothing else was queued up, we need to figure out what we want. Now, right now, we're still in this sort of exploration stage. And I'm thinking that probably, we'll say, enhanced resource exploration will be handy. And basically what this is as it is, our exploration ships need to get within a range of 500 of, we'll say, a planet or something to be able to sort of explore it and figure out what's on it. So our exploration ships have to basically go to every planet in a system to sort of explore it. Now, as you can see, it's a fairly big jump if we get enhanced resource exploration. It brings us up the range up to 8,000, which means, you know, our exploration ships can jump into system and then they don't have to get as close. And that means they'll save on fuel, and it means they'll be a little bit more efficient at the exploration. So I think we're going to go ahead with enhanced resource exploration, and that will allow us to, our exploration ships, especially once they start jumping out of our system, to sort of map out our sector of the galaxy a little bit quicker. Now, the other things I'm looking at, I'm trying to decide if we want to go colonization, which is a good tech to get, but it's very expensive. So I'm wondering if we should hold off on that until we get some of the other, we'll say, more core, or we'll say tier 2 technologies. For instance, we have crew systems. And this one here, it's going to be hard to explain without going into, we'll say, ship design, but basically, as it is, you have sort of your life support and your habitation module, and they support a certain size or a certain... yeah, they support a certain size. So, as we talked about before, we have a maximum size for our ships. So, as you can see right here with our current life support and habitation modules, each one unit of life support or hab module we add, it supports up to a size of 60. Now, if we go ahead under crew systems and we go ahead and, we'll say, put the upgrade here, it will support a size up to 85. So that will allow us to take up less room with life support and hab modules. You know, less room. It'll take up less room because we won't need as many of these to, we'll say fill up our ship or to support our ship. Now, since we're pretty early and our ships are pretty small, the benefit to getting this right now, I think, is going to be pretty minimal. We don't, like I said, we don't really have these big ships. So I'm thinking entertainment systems. And the reason for that is it's going to increase happiness at our colony, because our first colony, let's face it, we're going to have to tax the crap out of that thing because it's going to be expensive to go ahead and expand. So we're going to need to be able to keep our citizens happy. If we go ahead and put entertainment, if we research entertainment systems, we'll be able to raise, we'll say, the happiness at our colonies so that we can tax them higher. Medical systems, that will come into play when we start using troops a little bit more and, you know, invasions and stuff like that, because, you know, you typically have these on your troop transports or on bases so that, you know, wounded troops can go ahead and recover. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to start with enhanced resource exploration, and then we're going to get entertainment systems, and I'm debating what the third one should be. Like I said, I'm going to hold off on crew systems. I don't think it's a... correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think it's a priority this early right though, because the benefit mathematically just doesn't seem to be there. I'm wondering if we should go with target tracking. Now, because when you fire in this game, you don't always hit. So if I put target tracking on my ships, it might mean that we'll say their fire will be more effective. So I'm wondering if we should go ahead with that, because we're going to be getting into fights a little bit more going forward. So, like, I'm looking at countermeasures and target tracking as maybe something we want. Proximity sensors is also a good thing because that allows us to see, you know, ships that are coming into our territory, you know, that are coming into our system before they get there. And that will allow us to, we'll say, intercept them a little bit quicker. So, proximity sensors might be... Actually, I'm going to go with proximity sensors as my third queued up technology. Yeah, that sounds good. Also, I've sort of been watching this construction ship here, and he seems to be queued up to go ahead and build mining stations, and it doesn't appear to be affecting my money at all. So I don't know. Maybe someone who's, we'll say, a little bit more well versed with the game can go ahead and correct me. But the fact that he was building a base while it was still basically while I was in the red is interesting. Alright, so abandoned ship encountered. We have encountered an abandoned frigate, adrift in the Sol system. A radio transmission from the ship repeats over and over. This mission is too important for me to allow you to jeopardize it. Should we investigate the ship? Of course, let's investigate the ship. We have investigated an abandoned frigate, Vigilance of Sol, at frozen gas giant planet Sol 6 in the Sol system in sector J5. It appears to be in good working order. We have boarded it and taken control. The ship also reveals some intriguing information displayed on the main screen. Our navigational directions pointing to a location near the system in sector, is that I6? Maybe we should send a ship to investigate this location. Alright. So, actually I should have gone to that location. Give me a second here. Actually, I'm gonna, no, I just ran out of money. I was about to go ahead and retrofit. Now, where is that ship that we just explored here, or we just discovered? Oh, there it is, over here. So we can see the exploration ship went ahead and it discovered this thing here, and this guy here does not have a hyperdrive, unfortunately. So this is technically our first military ship. It's a frigate, and it's got a firepower rating of about 20. Okay, not bad. At least we have, we'll say, a military ship. I'm actually thinking about leaving this guy just to his own devices until I can go ahead and retrofit him up. Alright, so, oh yeah, that's right, I6. So first I'm gonna give the order to retrofit my spaceport with shields and all that good stuff. Shields and armor. And then I'm gonna look on my map. Now we have a grid. We are in J5, and it's really hard to see the letters, but there's a J down here at the bottom and 5. So this is where we are. So I6, and as you can see, it's sort of pinging. There's a little circle that's emanating from this star. So the information we found on the frigate tells us that there's something here. So we should be exploring this red giant star as soon as we can. Which is, like I said, why we need warp field precursors, so that we can actually start jumping to other stars. And our researchers have completed research in enhanced beam weapons, so once we start getting, we'll say, military ships, we'll be able to take advantage of, we'll say, the improved firepower. Okay, so our leader, Tiku Bendu, has acquired a new character trait, Generous. So our guy's starting to become a little bit more, like I said, he's becoming a little more fleshed out. So you've got your traits, and let me see, let's look at his traits. Generous, basically it, minus 10 colony corruption reduction. Ooh. So basically what this looks like is, that trait, it makes it easier for corruption to, we'll say, sprout beneath him, but it increases colony happiness. So under him, people are going to be really happy, but corruption might be a bit more of a problem. However, if I, come on, tooltip, come back up, please. Sometimes it just does that. I'll click off. There we go. However, if I recall correctly, he's measured, so it actually kind of offsets his. See, yeah, because basically Generous and Measured are sort of offsetting each other, because, you know, he has a minus 10% colony corruption reduction, but then he's got a plus 10 colony corruption reduction from Measured. And then he's also got the minus 10% colony happiness, but he's got the plus from Generous. So, basically, it just basically, we'll say, zeroes out those two values, and then it just leaves him with a bonus, I believe, of plus 10% to Diplomacy from the Measured trait. So it's kind of disappointing in a way, but you know, that's basically, you know, that's people tend to have, we'll say, pros and cons. There's you know, they have traits that might be at odds with each other, and that's okay, because people are complex, and you know, that works. Let's see, I'm also retrofitting, man, I can't say that right. Retrofitting my bases again, to take advantage of the new weapons, because the bases have weapons. Now, I also want to make sure that I actually start getting some military ships here, because when you first build your ships, it takes a while for their shields to charge up, as you can see here. And like our bases, their shields are charging up. So when you first build military ships, you definitely don't want to be, we'll say, throwing them straight into combat right away, because their shields aren't even going to be fully charged yet. Alright, so here's an example of we'll say, a new character coming, basically being discovered or appearing. Basically, we have a new fleet admiral named Kobe Okoros has appeared at Sol 1. So basically, let's go ahead and take a quick look at our fleet admiral. Now, what we can do is, when we start creating fleets, we can go ahead and start assigning them different admirals and captains, just like as you know, if we want to really, we'll say, hit a planet hard or something, or we want our troops to be sort of invigorated, we can also, send a troop general along with them, and that will go ahead and, boost different things. Actually, this guy here looks like he's a good defensive sort of general, so I might keep him on our home planet, because he appears to have an unknown bonus to ground defense strength. I'm sorry, I didn't look at them before. I've kind of looked at the scientists and the intelligence agents a little bit, and the ambassador and the leader. Actually, I haven't looked at the ambassador yet because we don't have another empire to talk to yet. But yeah, so when we start building, we'll say fleets, we can slap the fleet admiral in there, and it looks like I'm not sure what a repair bonus exactly does. Maybe it makes it so that we repair quicker or something, but. That's something that's it's a nice thing to, we'll say, add to your fleet to we'll say boost it up a little bit. All right, now that I've got some sort of, we'll say, positive cash flow, we're actually getting close to having warp field precursors. I really need to deal with these space slugs. So what I'm starting to think about, we'll say, developing my military at this point. We're what, 9 years into this game? And we've just completed research and enhanced resource exploration. So basically this is perfect because it's just in time for our ships. Oh, actually no, we still have 30% to go on warp field precursors. So yeah, we're gonna basically want to, we'll say, clean up our system. Oh. So it looks like our frigate decided to fly by and take on a few of the space slugs. And by the looks of things, it took a little bit of damage. If we look at here, it says components 3 are damaged. And he's escaping because he's scared of the space slugs, and pretty good reason. As you can see, he didn't do a whole lot of damage to them, and they actually regenerate their health a little bit. And if I recall correctly, no, I'm thinking of a different creature. Some other creatures will actually get stronger the more they destroy, so he's going to go ahead and repair. Now, before he goes over there to repair, I want to actually take a look at him. So what you can do is, by double-clicking on him or bringing up the ships and bases screen, you can actually go ahead and see exactly what is damaged. So if we look at the components, there are 3 damaged, and the 3 components that are damaged are just standard armor. So the guy has not sustained any damage to his as we'll say, core components, any of his engines or anything like that, pulse blasters, fission reactor, HAB modules, the shields, nothing. So basically, he just took damage to his armor. Now, it can be scary when you see components, like, oh crap, he took damage. But when you actually take a look at the ship itself, armor counts as a component. So, sort of keep that in mind. Also on that note, you'll notice that his shields are still at full strength. Yet those, the space slugs were still able to damage him. Space creatures tend to bypass shields. So, you definitely want armor when dealing with them. So, he's basically going to go ahead and repair at the spaceport, and yeah, he's gonna go ahead and get repaired. Actually, might as well just can I tell him to retrofit? No, I don't think I can. Well, he's gonna go ahead and repair, and then he'll probably take another shot at the space slugs. But we definitely want to, we'll say, help him. We want those space slugs gone because they're becoming a problem for our mining operations. Actually, I should have probably taken care of them a lot earlier, but I was kind of hoping I was trying to get my monetary situation sort of handled. But so, at this point here, what we want to do is start building up our military. Oh. Speaking of which, it says military ship constructed. We have constructed our first military ship, the Vigilance of Sol. We are now able to defend ourselves against threats. Build more military ships to protect our empire throughout our star system. Now, what happens is when your ship gets repaired, it's considered, we'll say, reconstructed. So that's why this triggered. Because technically, we didn't build our first military ship, we found it. The fact that it went ahead and got repaired goes ahead and it now counts as being constructed. So sometimes if you'll see up at the top, a ship has been constructed, it doesn't always mean you're buying new ships. It means that ship may have just been built. But, we're going to go ahead and build some ships. So we're going to go ahead and look under, I can go under here, selecting the spaceport, and I can go ahead and choose the type of ship I want to build. Or I can go ahead and double click on it and go to the, we'll say, construction yard. I think I already showed that off though. So we've got some other ships that are queued up, but we do have a lot of different slots to go ahead and construct. So these are private ships that are being constructed. The private sector, they want to build these various ships. They pay us to use our facilities, and that's where we get some of our, we'll say, our bonus income here. We're going to go ahead and I'm wondering if we should go for escorts or frigates. What I'm going to do is actually I want to see what the maintenance cost of each is going to be. Let's go ahead under the ships and bases, not the ships and bases screen, sorry, the design screen. Because what I can do is if I show state ships, it will show me the 2 designs that I can currently build for military ships. And it shows me the maintenance cost for each. And also shows me the size and all that stuff. So basically we have the escort class, which is our smallest type, and really I'd say their only role is to sort of be fodder to kind of allow other ships to escape or you know, buy time for them to arrive. Maintenance cost though is only 315, so we could kind of get 2 of these for the price of, say, 1 frigate, and it would actually work out to be sort of twice the size. Let's actually go ahead and under edit and take a look at what kind of stuff they have on them. So armor of 30, 2 Maxis blasters, which are the enhanced beam weapons we've got, and shields. Let's see, 1 Cordovian shield, so that's 100 shields. Now let's go ahead and take a look at what the frigate has by comparison. It has over twice the amount of firepower. It has twice the armor and twice the shields for less than twice the cost. Actually, yeah, for less than twice the cost. So I'm actually thinking frigates are probably a better deal. So we're going to go ahead and build a couple of frigates at the Solon Spaceport. I'm going to go ahead and build, let's go with 4 for now. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there we go. We've got, let's say, our 4 frigates that are currently being built here. Also, since we're about to be jumping out to the stars and, yeah, we're going to be experiencing new things as the game goes on. Like I said, we're almost 10 years in. I think we still got about 10 more years of relative peace before things start to get really hairy. I find around the 20-year mark, especially with, we'll say, my research speed. That's when, you know, that's when we're going to be exploring the stars. That's when we come into contact with other empires, and that's when, you know, other pirate factions interact with us. So that's when. Okay, let me see. Are you gonna die? Yeah, he's got 8 components damaged. He's trying to get away to repair. I wish he would fire while trying to escape, but I guess he's just not interested in doing that. So that 1 ship is not enough to deal with these space slugs. But what I was trying to get at before I interrupted myself, you know, and I got distracted, is I'm thinking about building a defensive base. Now, it's going to cost me 8 grand, and how much in maintenance? Because that's... A defensive base is kind of like an orbital platform. It's basically just there to shoot crap down. Maintenance cost is actually over 2 grand per month. But let's take a look at the weaponry here. You know, it's got a total firepower rating of 208. We got all these Maxis blasters as well as all these concussion missiles. So when, you know, when the enemy starts coming after us, you know, these are really nice to have around your planet. Actually, I'm not sure if this one is equipped with a fighter bay yet. No, I don't think we haven't researched fighters yet. Yeah, so, you know, it might be early, but I like getting a defensive base up. It makes me feel safe, you know, it makes me feel safe at night. So, we're gonna go ahead and build a defensive base, and that's gonna queue it up here. Alternatively, I could have right-clicked, and just said build, you know, a defensive base here, and I could have chosen exactly where I wanted the defensive base to be. But for now, that's fine. I might build the next one over here. That way there, it's kind of... I can sort of spread them out on the different points of my my planets, so that way they're, you know, they can adequately defend the entire area. And once we get fighters, their range will be sort of expanded even further. And our frigates have been completed. Now you'll notice they look a little bit different. It's because the ship we found was actually not human in origin. I'm not sure what design that is, but... that's why this frigate looks different than our other frigates. Now, as I said before, you know, the shields need time to charge up for these. See, if we go ahead and click on one of these, our shields are still charging. However, since we've already established that the space slugs, they bypass shields, that's not going to be much of an issue. So let's go ahead and, let's see how this plays out. A warning, fighting, we'll say, creatures is pretty unspectacular. There's no explosions or anything, there's no cool animation, but, you know, it's our first example of combat, so I'm going to show it off. Oh, our engineers have completed research in starfighters. Now, if I would have waited just a couple minutes before building that defensive base, it would have come with starfighters on board, so I'll have to retrofit that once it's built. Yeah, take that, space slug. Yeah, so our frigates are definitely more than capable of dealing with the space slug threat. And now our mining ships should be able to do their own mining thing. Now, since they are set on automatic, frigates and escorts, their default behavior tends to be to defend, you know, various mining bases and private ships. They're kind of, you know, they're both kind of escorts in a way. Frigates just being larger versions of them. So they're just going to go ahead and sit there. But you know what? I don't want them to just sort of sit there. I want them. I want to sort of show off how to create a fleet and how fleets work. I'm running out of time actually for the recording, but you know we'll at least show how fleets work. So we can go ahead and highlight them all and then select create new fleet. And once again, you know, you can go up to the ship options here, and you know go ahead and click these guys, and then just set to fleet to new fleet. But yeah, let's just go ahead and do this. Create new fleet. And ta-da, we now have the first fleet. And now, the nice thing about fleets is that you can sort of set them up as sort of defensive or offensive, well, defensive or offensive fleets. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the first fleet, we can rename this to, let's see, what was our, we don't have a name for our home planet. I'm actually recording this as the first 2 episodes are uploading, so I haven't gotten any input on that yet, so we're gonna actually rename this one though to, for now, we're just gonna call it Defense Force. There we go. So this is gonna be our Defense Force. We'll rename this again when we actually, have a name for our system. And we're gonna choose a new home colony. We're gonna set it to Sol 1. And that means that this fleet will call Sol 1 its home. And then, you know, of course, as the game goes on, there's different planets. You know, we'll be able to set different fleets, you know, their home bases as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to adjust their posture. Right now, they're currently set to attack, which means they're going to attack. And if we mouse over here, it says set range anywhere. That means they're going to attack anywhere. If we zoom out, I think, do I have show fleet postures? Yes. Which does nothing because we don't have warp field precursors yet. Okay, I'll show you that in another video. What I like to do is I'm going to set this to defend, and then we're going to change this to system. And what that means is this defense force will defend its system that it's based in. So, as you can see right here, posture, defend, Sol 1, and system. So these frigates here, their job is to defend this entire system. You know, they're moving kind of slow, but we're about to get, you know, sort of hyperdrive type technology, so they'll be able to jump around to the various planets, you know, and help out there. Now, I could go ahead and add this frigate to the defense force as well, and I think I will. So what I can do is I can go ahead and just click on join nearest fleet, or, you know, I can go ahead and do the other usual things. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit that, and because the nearest fleet is the defense force, he is now the newest member of the defense force. And if I hit F as my hotkey, I can bring up my fleet and give them various orders. So there's my defense fleet. They're going to go ahead and defend this system. Okay, a few different things happened here. So we got a new intelligence agent named Kiran Hasari, which we can't really use just yet because the only faction we know is the pirates, and I don't like sending intelligence agents against pirates because they're actually kind of hard to do missions against. One thing I did notice though is that only one of my intelligence agents is actually performing counterintelligence. So I'm going to actually choose mission type for these guys and set them to counterintelligence for the time being. Just because, you know, I don't know about, we'll say other factions doesn't mean they don't know about me, but actually, technically, yes, it does, because the second they know about you, you're allowed to contact them, so I guess nobody knows about me, but either way, it's a good default, we'll say, mission to assign to them. The next thing is, actually, this is an interesting thing. Construction at Agigare mining station is stalled due to shortages of the following resources. Steel! So they're trying to retrofit, they're trying to build it up, but they don't have any steel. So they're actually stalled. They need to wait until probably a freighter of some sort brings them some steel. So you know, that's private sector. We can't directly influence that, but I guarantee you, because there's a demand for steel over there, that the, you know, some freighter will go over there and bring some steel. Let's see, what is this guy doing? This guy's transporting helium. I'm not sure what these guys are doing. These are pirate ships. Those two, they're independent, but don't be fooled. They are absolutely pirate smuggling ships. And which I'm noticing there's actually starting to be an increasing number of them in my system. So I think, we'll say, getting my defenses up this early was a good idea, because as these guys come around, they're going to try to put influence on my planet, which will increase, you know, corruption and all that. And they might even try to establish a secret base on my planet, which we'll have to weed out and take care of, you know, especially if they start to set up some sort of, you know, criminal network. We have a new ship captain. We'll take a look at him later. We completed research in entertainment systems, which is probably a good reason to go ahead and retrofit our space station, our spaceport, because that will help with, we'll say happiness. Right now, let's see, happiness is at 24. Let's see. Okay, I didn't see what it was before. I don't know if it actually went up. Oh yeah, there we go, up to 27. So there was a bit of a boost in happiness because of the entertainment systems. And sort of on cue here, we're about to get, they sold our... Okay, so the Fearson Merchant Cartel have sold our contact details to another empire, the Tekin Corporation. Like I said before, when another empire finds out about you, you will know. So we can actually go ahead and contact them now. They're currently angry with us. They don't like us because we set the universe to, I think it was, what did I set? I set it to restless or unstable. One of those two. So they're not happy with us by default. We can go ahead and we'll say improve relations with them as time goes on. But as I was saying, it's like the timing is perfect. You see these two exploration ships, they are out of missions. They've explored our entire system. They don't know what else to do. Well, we're at 99% for warp field precursors. So if we just wait a second, we will have 100% and we will be able to start jumping to other systems. Okay, come on, you're at 100%. This is supposed to be a big moment. I'm supposed to be like, ah, there we go. Hyperspace technology has been discovered. We have discovered hyperspace technology, allowing our starships to travel faster than light. This momentous discovery means that we can finally leave our own solar system and travel to faraway stars, truly exploring the galaxy. This amazing discovery has produced a new scientist in our empire, Casto Tarfen. We should quickly exploit this new capability by redesigning and building new ships with these hyperdrives. I agree. So first things first, these two exploration ships, retrofit. That way there they can start jumping out of our system and going ahead and exploring. Next thing, I'm going to open up the fleets screen, and the defense force, I'm going to tell them to retrofit to latest designs. And that's going to send them to the spaceport, and they're going to start getting hyperdrives on them. I'm not sure what technology I got that these require retrofitting, but, you know, I'm going to retrofit them anyways. Okay, and we can already see over time, I think it was over 30-something%, or minus 30-something, was what the relationship was with us before, but now it's only at minus 28, so, they're slowly warming up to the idea of us existing within the universe. I guess they wanted the whole thing to themselves or something, I don't know. Yeah, so that's cool, that's good, that they're warming up to us. What I might do... because we are envious of your huge strength and power. Our ignorance of your strange alien ways causes us to distrust you. Let's go ahead and take a look at the score screen. We haven't been able to look at empire comparison or victory conditions yet because we haven't really had anyone else to compare ourselves to. And as we can see, they are ahead of us on victory conditions. And there's various criteria for the victory state, and I haven't really gone into those. But so, like, we'll look at us for example. The economy. There's economy, population, territory, and then there's a specific human race victory condition. So economy, our target is to generate 33% of the galaxy total GDP. And currently, we generate 9%. So that means that that victory condition is, we'll say, 7% satisfied. Population is 33% of the galaxy's population. and we control 11%. So we're definitely not there. Territory, we want to control 33% of the colonies in the galaxy. We control 5% of the galaxy's colonies. And then there's our human race victory condition. So we want to control 33% of all continental colonies in the galaxy. We like continental planets. And we only own, what is it? 1? So that's 20 of galaxy total. So there's other races out there that have continental planets, so that we've got our progress of 61%. They also want us to, make mutual defense pacts with 15% of all empires in the galaxy. So, as we start to develop relations with different empires, we can go ahead and be like, hey, yo, you got our back, we got your back, kind of thing. We will establish Space NATO. Kind of thing. Destroy more enemy ships and bases than you lose. So as long as we destroy more ships than we lose, that condition will be satisfied. And then we want to earn the most trade income and earn the most tourist income. So those are our race specific advantages. Now the Teekans, their race specific is they want to start the fewest wars in the galaxy, which is kind of a nice thing, because that tells me that it's in their best interest not to start wars. It might make them a good friend to have. Let's see, have the highest private revenue in the galaxy. So they want their private sector to have the create the most revenue. So I guess we have to compete with them a little bit on that one. Earn the most trade income in the galaxy. That's not fulfilled. And destroy the most sand slugs. Not completed. So they're a little bit ahead of us in those respects. But if we actually look at, we'll say, population, we're way ahead of them. Territory, we're tied with 1 colony each. Economy, we're slightly edging them out. Strategic value, I guess our system is worth a lot more than theirs. And military strength, we're still a lot stronger. And if we look at top colonies, we can't see theirs because we have not discovered it yet. Just because you know about another empire doesn't mean that you automatically can, go ahead and see exactly what everything they have. That's actually kind of a strategic element. Even though you know about the empire, you don't know where they're at. And so they could be anywhere in this galaxy. And you'll notice there's this big blue circle. What does that mean? Because we now have, we'll say, faster than light travel. We have hyperspace technology. We can, we'll say, our influence has been spread out this far, which means we claim this entire section of the galaxy. Now, where problems come in is, let's say if a guy is actually here and he claims this chunk here, this area here is going to be an area of conflict. And that's why I wanted to, we'll say, increase the influence range when I set up this game, is that I wanted there to be a lot of that sort of conflict. It would make for some interesting viewing, even if I ultimately lose the game. Now, the pirates are offering us an empire contact. Let's see, exchange with other civilizations is the key to growth and prosperity, don't you think? We can put you in contact with another empire for 2,388 credits. Actually, I want to go ahead and do that. I'm going to pay them the money, and they will, we'll say, tell me, they'll give me the number. We'll exchange numbers here for this other empire, and let's see who it is. Oh, great. It's the Rotian Hive. These guys here are... I hate the Boscara. These guys here are a pain. Oh, they're like cockroaches. Actually, they might be kind of... They're like ants. They're insects, and they spread out everywhere, and they're very hostile. So, I'm not sure how much, we'll see how well we'll get along with them, well, hopefully they're not too close to us. So, now that we know where, we'll say 2 empires are, or we know of them, we can actually start using our intelligence agents. So we'll do one last thing here before I have to wrap things up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at our character screen. And we've got 3 intelligence agents. One's good at counter-espionage, one's good at espionage, and the other one's good at espionage. So, I'm going to leave this guy on counter-espionage, but this guy here, we're going to go ahead and... Actually, I'm not sure which one. This guy here. We're going to send this guy off on a mission. We're actually going to rename him. I'm going to rename him. Sorry, people. That's one less intelligence agent you can change the name of. I'm calling this one Solid Snake. Because, why not? We're going to go ahead and cancel his current counterintelligence mission, and we're going to choose a target of the Teekan Corporation. And I want to try to steal the territory map. Basically, what that means is he's going to try track down where the Tegan Corporation is and get their territory map, so we'll know exactly where they are and what territory they own. And you can sort of choose the time to complete. Honestly, a mission like this, he's untested. I'm going to give him an entire year to do so. So after, we'll say the clock runs down 1 year, we will know where the Tegan Corporation is. And now, if they detect him, if they find him, that will damage our relations. So I'm really hoping they don't detect him. But if they do, I don't really care, because I actually kind of want to provoke them a little bit, because if they start a war, they automatically lose one of their victory conditions, which puts us ahead of them. And let's see, victory conditions. At least we're ahead of the Rhodian Hive. That's alright. Alright, so, you know, we're gonna go ahead and end things here, right before we're about to start making jumps to other systems and exploring. I don't know why you don't have a mission. Oh, you haven't been retrofitted with... Have you not been Oh, you don't have hyperdrives yet. What the crap? Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and get our exploration ships retrofitted with hyperdrives, so they can go ahead and explore. They should have been doing that already, but evidently they didn't for whatever reason. And we're gonna end things here. Next time, I'm sorry things have been kind of slow here. We're still in our home system. There's a lot of game elements for me to go over, though, so I feel like there's a lot of this stuff needed to be explained, because as the series goes on, it's going to be more about what is happening rather than how we go ahead and play this. So, and like I said, there's still depth further on, much further into the game here. So we're going to go ahead and save this as LP2, because this is after the second Let's Play episode. So anyways, if you like the content, would like to see more, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, leave it a thumbs down. Either way, let me know what you thought in the comment section. And until next time, I would like to ask you all to game on.